Everybody, welcome back. We're doing another Marvel Future Revolution video. This is in the beginner series. This particular episode, we're going to be talking about AFK farming. What is it? Might know, might not know, and the best spots for it, right? We're going to go through all that. If you're new to the channel, check out the Discord link in the description below. You can follow along with the community. Easiest way to find videos. Sometimes that YouTube algorithm can be kind of funky. Hammer down like buttons, notification bells, and of course, if you'd like to subscribe, always appreciated. Doing a lot of Marvel Future Revolution content here. So, all right, so let's check it out.
WolverThor.
Okay, AFK farming. That's what I've been doing, sitting here. Technically, she's just running around, right? So the idea of AFK farming, away from keyboard farming, your character is doing something in the game to get stuff. It's really what it's mainly about is getting regional materials. These regional materials drop from random characters as you kill them, and you need it for crafting. In the crafting materials that it goes into are some of the best gear in the game. However, the crafting in the game, the RNG is terrible, and you're very, very unlikely to get that gear. But you still get it nonetheless, and you still need it. You also get a little bit of gold, but you know, I wouldn't necessarily be doing it for gold. To me, probably the biggest reason to do AFK farming is to get the badges. So you can see here, these badges, and if you're not familiar, the badges, they come from, or you use them down here. Now, you're going to get better ones from Blitz or Dark Zone and things like that later in the game. But when you're first leveling up, you get a ton of them from just random NPCs or quests. So all of these at this point in the game are trash, basically. So I go through and have my characters farm and do whatever they're going to do and come here and get these badges. And then I dismantle them. 1, 2, and you can see it's like you can only do 50 at a time, and I get unstable convertium particles and a little bit of more gold, both of things that you need a lot of. So again, I'll go ahead and dismantle the rest. I at this point in the game am dismantling the 4-star badges as well. That's just kind of where I'm at. So those type of things are really what you're looking for on these AFK farms. Additionally, one of the nice things is, see these characters you need to kill. You can see I need Fenris. You can place your character overnight, kind of in that sort of area, if you want to just leave them there. And I think yesterday I had like 3 on Fenris or 4 on Fenris. I left my character on overnight in just kind of an area like this, and she killed people. And I was like, great, cool, you got some kills and worked towards some things. I'll go over the most wanted and why that matters, but that's another reason that you might want to do this. Another aspect that they actually have here is sleep mode. I have not done this much. It sits here and does this. It shows it's in on battle mode. It shows what I've got. Okay, great. I've had it cancel or crash overnight when I do this too. So I don't really know if this is great or not, but it is a version that you can maybe save some battery if you want something like that. Just click and hold. It comes back on. There you go. You're back in game. So the other question that I got a lot about that, well, before we go to that, before you do anything for AFK farming, make sure whatever med kits you need, that you have those, because you will quickly die if you run out, even if you're a higher power character, depending what zone you're in, of course. If you're super strong, it won't matter because the NPCs aren't going to do anything to you. Or not the NPCs, but the characters in the game. But I always make sure that I have my med kits available, so make sure you do too, wherever you go. So the question I get asked the most on this is, what's the best place to go? What is the best place to AFK farm? I will say, step 1 is you've got to be a place you can survive for 2 to 8 hours, however long you're going to be AFK farming the entire time. So if you don't have a lot of power, I would suggest that you find an area that's a couple levels below you that you can survive. And you know what? You're probably going to need the regional mats in there at some point for one of your characters anyway. So that's step 1. Like, yes, you might need Midgardia for gear, but if you're too low to survive in there, or same thing with Sakaar, those areas can be tough and you can't just auto and stay away unless you actually have the power to do it. So think about that. We've got a lot of locations in game that you can actually go to. We'll go back to the Omega Flight headquarters. typically when you're trying to think about this, depending on your level, you'll go to the world map over here and we will just see, you know, where we want to go. One of the things that I used to do when I first started leveling, you know, New Stark City's the first level you go through, then Hydra, then Xanderth, then Midgardia, then Sakaar. So as you're going through these areas, like maybe if you're new, just go to New Stark City, right? And just pick one of these areas, okay? Just pick one that works for you. You go in there, that's it, right? So that is the biggest thing I'd say as far as location. I don't think there's like a, I mean, look, there might be an area with some more enemies in it. Yeah, certainly. The way that you want to do that is, and you figure it, or actually one of the best ways to figure it out here is, actually, let's get off of this, and what I'll show you is you want to go here and go to Records, Activity Log. Let's just stick in New Stark City and Villain Log. And what you're going to want to do is it's going to, you know, say it's a location. All right. So you've got all of these locations where it's going to show you where enemies are. So if you're looking, I mean, this is another aspect of the game, but just to make sure that you've got enemies. So yeah, so like you just go to that red skull spot and it's probably going to have enemies there for a little bit. And again, like I mentioned before, you kind of want to try to find a spot that maybe has some most wanted characters in it as well, you know, and maybe you look at it, it's like, okay, you know, that's there, and you know, you want to find a spot that's in one of those. Okay, that's not too far. Maybe you're going there. So that's how I would kind of look about doing that. And again, you know, you got to look at the levels here and see what makes the most sense. If you're, you know, normally in Xanderth or Midgardia, but you're not quite there yet, you don't have a lot of power, then maybe farm in Hydra or early Xanderth levels. You know, Sakaar and Midgardia, like I mentioned earlier, are not easy places to farm. Okay, so don't just go in there and think you're just gonna rock them. Okay, so again, you know, you can loop in, you know, some of these villain logs or the most wanted logs. Obviously, I've got to get back to Xanderth at some point. I've got quite a few people here that I've got to take care of. I didn't do much here when I leveled up, so you know, got to get through those. But again, location, you click it, you find it, and then maybe you look at through some of these other ones, you know, where around these people are, and just farm that. I highly suggest doing this every night. Okay, I know that might seem silly, but if you're going to be into the game at all, especially if you're going to be free to play, I would say that this helps you get a little bit stronger without using any money, because you will get a little bit of free gear. I mean, you're sleeping or whatever, who cares, right? Like maybe if you've got a computer and an emulator, just have it playing on the computer screen while you're, you know, off in bed or whatever. So anyway, that's all I want to do. Simple videos. I like doing these in the beginner series. I hope this helps anybody who was not aware of it. Again, there's not, in my opinion, there might be some areas that may be slightly better than others, but I'm not going to go through that in each zone in this particular video. Maybe at some point I'll go a little bit more in depth in one and go in each section. But for now, I just kind of wanted to go very high level for anybody who might not be familiar with that or even be aware they could do it. Like I mentioned this earlier, the Discord link in the description below. Hammer down the like button, notification bell, subscribe if you'd like. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day.